Welcome to this week's episode of Those Two Guys Talk Disney.
What's up?
I'm Justin Vaughn. I'm joined again today by Jay Gibson.
What's up? What's up?
All right, so this week, like we said last week, we're going to talk about Twitches. I actually watched this today, so it's actually pretty fresh in my mind.
Go Twitches. Go Twitches. It's a birthday.
We don't know for sure what movie we're going to cover next, but I know it's going to be another Halloween movie. That way we can finish up. We're getting finished up with the month of October.
I know it's crazy. I'm so off still. Like, I don't feel like it should be October. Then again, I missed like a whole month of the summer, so
yeah,
I'm off by like a month.
Yep, I get it. Sorry, you guys. I'm just checking. Oh, that's why my freaking mic's turned. Anyways, I didn't say.
That's weird.
Oh, it's because this actually turned.
Hey, surprisingly enough, mine hasn't been doing that weird thing.
Yeah, where it makes that little.
Yeah. Oh, what was up with that?
All right, I can hear now. Hear a little bit better now. Sorry, just adjusting on the fly. All right, into our movie today.
So the synopsis, that I got for, I'm guessing it's the one off of Disney Plus. I'm not entirely sure, but reunited on their 21st birthday, twin sisters Tia and Tamara Mowry, a.k.a. Alex and Cameron, use their magic powers to save their kingdom from the forces of darkness.
Woo woo.
Ooh.
The movie had a $20 million budget.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
The initial release date was October 14th, 2005, which is funny because we are actually recording this on October 14th.
It's based on a book series of the same name by H.B. Gilmore and Randy Redfield. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I'm not very good at pronouncing names.
It has an 86-minute runtime. This is getting all the little technical stuff out the way first, and then we get into the movie. It stars Tia and Tamara Mowry.
Yep.
Tia is Alex, and Tamara is Cam.
And actually, the one's adopted mother was actually only a year older than the Mowry sisters when they filmed this.
The bio mom's only 9 years older.
Yeah, and then like the adopted mom's only like a year older. Like they're all real close in age.
That's like, why would
crazy?
That's weird.
That's crazy.
Kristen Wilson.
Couldn't believe that when I read that. I was like, whoa.
Plays Miranda, who is the girl's mom in the movie, and she is the Queen of Coventry. Patrick Fabian is Thantos,
the uncle.
Yep. No, I can't actually say what else he is right now.
Yeah, we don't want to mention that just yet.
Pat Kelly is Karsh, who is a guardian. Jennifer Robertson is Eliana,
which is also they're both guardians, but they're also kind of an on again, off again couple. Kind of weird.
It was filmed in Toronto, Ontario.
Actually, in Casa Lama, in Ontario, Toronto, and Canada. And actually, Casa Lama is a popular filming location that has been used in other movies, including X-Men, Chicago, and Tuxedo. The Tuxedo. So apparently, they use that location a lot. Apparently,
that's not surprising.
No. I mean, if it's a decent location, why not use it multiple times?
Well, and Disney kind of flips a coin. They either film in Toronto or they film in Utah.
It's Utah. Anyway, sorry. My mom just watched Wild Wild West the other day. That's why I did that. It just came from that movie. What's this? Utah. Anyway.
This movie got 60% on Rotten Tomatoes. Anything else technically that you got there, Jay?
I don't think so. I mean, other than a green screen, special effects along with a green screen were used to help simulate the magic tricks shown throughout the movie. Other than that, no, I think that's it. I think we covered everything.
All right.
All the technical stuff.
On to the movie then. Oh, actually, give me a second here. I was checking to see if I actually needed to open my Voodoo. Mountain Dew Zero Sugar Voodoo. But I don't. It's by half cup.
Alex and Cameron, a.k.a. Tia Tamara, their actual names, birth names, were Apollo and Artemis, named after the Olympian, the god of sun and moon.
The goddess.
Well, what I read, it said god.
Yeah, well, because they are Greek gods. But
yeah.
Artemis is the goddess of the moon. Apollo is her twin brother, the god of the sun.
Yeah. Which is who Apollo and Artemis were named after.
I put down, starts off by showing Coventry. Like, the attack on Coventry by the darkness.
Yep.
That's all we know about throughout the movie is the darkness.
And then it shows the two twins laying on the floor, I guess the floor.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's the floor.
And I don't know if it actually shows him, but it's their dad, like, giving all his powers to them. He's trying to get them out of there to save them.
And then the Guardians take off with them. Take them through another dimension.
Which happens to be Earth.
Both of them get dropped off at two different hospitals. Yeah. One looks like a house. However, their lives growing up way different.
Yeah, one was adopted by a rich family, while the other one was adopted by a single mom.
I actually wrote down in here about when they meet. We'll get to it.
The one that was adopted by a single mom, her mom actually passes away like shortly before their 21st birthday.
Yeah.
Her 21st birthday.
Now, another podcast, Magical Rewind, they actually covered this movie. And Will Friedle is one of the hosts on it. And his only question was, how does the magic work? Like, what are the rules? Because he's a big D&D nerd and Magic Gathering nerd. Yeah. I'm a D&D nerd. How does this magic work? Like, it never explains how the magic works. No. Like, what can the darkness do and what can't the darkness do?
But like Apollo, her powers are strongest when the sun is out.
Yes.
So she's always
Apollo
drawing.
She draws. Yeah, she draws as soon as the sun rises.
She's drawing.
She draws,
and it's all pictures of Coventry in the darkness and her biological mom, which she doesn't know yet.
Her sister, which she doesn't know.
Yeah, and then
because her parents come in because it's her birthday. Her parents come in. They actually see the picture she draws. She goes, "Oh, is this a self-portrait?" She goes, "I don't think so."
She's like, it might be, but the amulet she's wearing is not the same. But then Artemis,
they both wear different amulets.
Artemis,
I like how these amulets stayed with the kids, even after the
Apollo wears the amulet of the sun, obviously, and then Artemis, who wears the amulet of the moon, her power is the strongest when the moon comes up, and she writes stories that all happen to be about Coventry and her mom and all that, which neither one of them know yet, but that's what it is. But
they meet in a store, and I put in parentheses on my notes here, same as sister.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. But the difference is, Artemis is looking for a job.
Yes. And
Apollo is just out shopping.
I know, but it's funny. They took the basic concept of sister and was like, we can spin that into a movie.
She was in that store because there was a sale.
Because the Guardians were actually like,
and then the Guardians
trying to get them to meet.
Well, that's the reason Artemis went in there, because Eliana put a sign in there saying that they were hiring now. So she went in there, so they would actually run into each other on purpose.
They accidentally touch and realize they have magic powers.
Yeah. And of course, Cameron, aka Paula, is all like excited about it. It's like, I knew something good was gonna happen, or something big was gonna happen today. Da, 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 all going crazy. Where Cameron's just like, "Whoa, calm down." Like, you know.
I actually, the one thing I like about this is that both of them show the same power. Meaning, if their phone's going to ring, or a phone's going to ring, they know it's going to ring before it ever does.
Yeah. Like, you want to answer that? Answer what?
Like, Cameron, she goes, "Oh, I'll get it," before the phone ever rings. As she's beating her dad in tennis. Like, horribly beating him. And then Alex does the same thing on the bus when her friend's phone about to start ringing. She goes, "Oh, tell your mom I said hi," and her friend's phone rings.
Speaking of that,
it's her mom's.
She actually is living with her friend.
Yes,
her friend's mom and little sister, and her friend share a bedroom right now, which is part of the reason why she's looking for a job, so she can, I guess, get her own place.
I would assume. But the girls start hanging out.
Hold on.
Okay.
I just realized I was not in the right chair. I was like, wait a minute. I looked over, I'm like, wait a minute. Why? I'm like, what is going on here? I thought something fell off.
It's been a while since you've been in that chair.
Yeah, it's like, why is... I was like, something doesn't seem right. I was definitely sitting higher, and I was like, wait, what is going on? Somebody moved my chair, that's what happened. Sorry about that.
Oh crap, I lost where I was at mentally.
I don't remember.
The girls start hanging out. They actually realize they're twins, so they start trying to get to know each other. And Cameron takes Alex back to her house.
And it's funny because they go to get in her car and this is your car? This is your house?
This is your bathroom?
Room? And she's like, okay, that's enough. Let's quit with that now.
And then they actually go... Then they go to Coventry for the first time? I think it is. That's right there was where they go to Coventry for the first time.
Well, she's looking for something, and she has to go get in the closet, and Alex opens the closet, and she's like, holy shit. And that's when you see Coventry, through the closet for the first time. She's like, is this her closet? Like, what the... Big closet.
But then they wind up at Alex's house.
And I think that's when they first meet Carson early on, I think.
Yes.
When they go into Coventry that first time. I do believe.
But I like how they spend the day, when they're just spending the day together, and they're just trying out their powers. They open a drawer.
They accidentally rip all the clothes off the mannequins. When they grab your hands for the first time, and they go, go. Then they go to, that diner where her friend works, and, make that dude's Coke explode because he's being so loud and obnoxious on the phone.
Well, then, they're out walking around, or in her car, and they're driving, and she talks about, they need to try their powers. So they touch hands again, and then,
they switch clothes.
Their clothes, Alex's clothes change. And Cameron's like, "Oh, I love it. I have such good taste." And Alex goes, "Come on." makes it to where she can get her clothes back, switch back. But yeah, then they do the stuff at. Well, they go back to Alex's house so she can get her journals, so that she can show her what she's been writing about Coventry her whole life. And then Cameron actually does the same thing to Alex that Alex is doing to her. This is your house? This is your bedroom?
And she's like, okay, I get it. That is annoying. She's like, okay, I get it now. I understand.
And then... Sorry, I'm trying to keep track of time here. That's when they go to the diner, and she's actually reading through the notebooks, and there's it spells in there. And she goes, "What are these poems?" And she goes, "Well, you have to have spells." So then she tries one.
And it's funny, every time they do spells, something always backfires and hits Karsh every time. Like, it never fails. Something always happens to him when they do a spell.
Yeah, well, because she tries the disappearing spell on the cup. And only the cup disappears, not the liquid inside the cup. Which then goes, boosh, and it like, explodes out. Including ice and everything, so they get it all cleaned up. That's when they tried on the dude.
Yeah, and it made his shit explode. And then it ends up, I guess, exploding on Karsh, too.
Well, then they actually leave there, and that's when they're running around. And there's, like, some rude guys asking, how would you like to come be with the real man?
Them or whatever, basically.
Yeah. And they make them put them in dresses.
Well, I don't understand. As it bounces and it hits Karsh, but why they put him in a gorilla costume and a bikini? I don't understand that part. Like, why didn't it just put him in a bikini? Why did it put him in a gorilla suit as well? Like, what?
That's pretty funny though.
Like, first time I ever watched it, I was like, what? Why? Like, they were in dresses. What? Where'd the gorilla suit come from?
Yeah, it's pretty funny. But then they actually sit down and they like Cameron reaches up and just touches the tree and it grows an apple. I thought that wasn't an apple tree. I thought it was just a normal like oak tree or something.
Well, like they just get as they go through the day, like they just get more and more comfortable with their powers.
Yeah,
like, it just becomes easier. Like, okay, like you just found out about it. How is it you got that much control of it all of a sudden, just after a couple hours?
Well, then. Like, throughout everything, though, like, you've seen the flashback to Coventry where Miranda is talking to Thantos, and he's saying that, once the girls start using their powers more, it'll be easier to find them. So on and so on and so on. Well, then when they find out that they are supposed to be the ones to save Coventry, Cameron's like, I don't want nothing to do with this.
Well, and then, like, Miranda feels them, and she goes around to Thantos and tells them, they're alive, they're alive. Like, I know they are, I can feel them. He's like, all right. He's like, we got to find them or whatever. Yeah, I don't know exactly what he says to her.
Props to the housekeeper, though, at Cameron's house, because she didn't blink an eye when there was a second one.
Man, she gets put through so much.
Sorry, fell in my cup.
Yeah, that poor housekeeper, man.
I said she doesn't even blink an eye when it's two of them.
Man, you need our person right there by the fridge. So like, give me a bottle of water.
I know. Now we gotta get up and get it ourselves. I was really loud setting that cup down right there. But she actually ends up seeing plants on fire from the darkness.
Snickerdoodle.
Cameron is having a hell of a fucking birthday. So close to not. She's having a hell of a birthday party. That's not that bad. We won't get flagged for that. We may get flagged for me dropping the F-bomb there. I'm not trying to. I gotta actually like consciously think about it. But she's having a big party for her 21st birthday party,
which she invited her new sister to, and her sister's friend.
Yeah.
And apparently, Alex one that lives with her friend.
Yeah.
Apparently, Alex and her friend like make fun of the rich people.
Oh, of course, because they're poor.
From that neighborhood.
Poor people make fun of rich people. Same with rich people make fun of poor people.
She's like, "Oh, come on, man, we gotta go check it out, check this party out." But then her and her friend are having a fight, and she ends up going to Coventry, and her friend thinks she went to the party without her. So then she shows up over there.
And the whole time, like, Cameron's like, I don't want to do with this. I have a good life. I don't want to have to be.
And the funny thing is, she's dressed like a princess. So Mickey's not a princess. She's like, why does everybody call me a princess? I'm not a princess. And they're like,
Because you dress like a princess. Her friend is a snob.
Yeah. A little bit.
Like, there is no reason to act that way.
But, you know. You come from money, and you rich. Think you're better than money. That's what that is. What she was supposed to be portraying, I guess.
And then her friend just, like, pushes her onto Zorro. Why is it always Zorro?
I don't know. Why not Stinky the Troll?
Or just like any other character. It's always Zorro.
Yeah, like why couldn't it be like Superman or Batman or whatever? Or Bilbo Baggins.
Bilbo. Oh, by the way, did I tell you what Abel's actually going to be? He is going to be Georgie for Halloween. Nice. We just got to go get the costume, or what we need for the costume, which isn't much. Just a yellow rain jacket and green boots.
Anyways, as they're looking, Cameron is showing Alex, like, all her drawings and stuff. Apparently it comes up as a drawing of a face coming out of the darkness.
It's when she starts talking to... When she decides to leave her party and she's running out, her adopted mom actually follows her.
It's like she tells her
and
mom.
she starts talking to her. She tells her mom everything.
And her mom's like, oh, not that again. You used to talk about that when you were a kid.
Her mom accepted the fact that she had a twin sister out there. No problem accepting it.
Yeah.
She accepted the fact that she had magic powers. No problem accepting that. Like, these got to be the most supportive parents ever.
I mean, being that they adopted her, I mean, they were kind of like, okay, that makes sense, you know.
Okay, the twin sister, yes, absolutely, 100%, absolutely, that is possible.
So
but the fact that you're magical twins?
Yeah. But let me say, like I said, that's when I brought up the fact that she used to talk about that stuff when she was a kid.
And she actually drew a face coming out of the darkness.
She talked about this woman and this other woman and stuff when she was a kid, drew pictures. And I think her mom's the one that said something to her about the fact that about the creepy face. And
then they try to hide it from her so she quit, so it wouldn't upset her so much. And then she asked if they happen to still have any. She was probably up in one of your scrapbooks.
Yeah.
So she ran up to get one of her scrapbooks, started looking through.
Of course, the darkness tries to stop her from getting the picture back to Coventry. To Miranda.
Yeah, because it shows exactly who is behind the darkness.
Yeah, and then right before you realize that she's there, Thanos comes running in. He's like, sorry, I couldn't get to her in time. Blah 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 blah. We gotta lock it.
After the darkness took Karsh and Ileana.
Yeah.
And it was actually her adopted mom that actually got him to go away. When she ran in
and opened the door and the light come in, but Thanos like we got to put the castle on lockdown. Sorry, blah blah blah.
And she tried to say that Apollo was working with the darkness,
and Artemis is like, "You're too late." Or no, Cameron comes out. It's like, "You're too late. I'm already here."
Well, because Alex goes, "Well, that could be if she wasn't already here," and that's when Cameron walked out.
She's like, "I'd be here by a whole 5 minutes."
And then, of course, the burnt picture, and then her mom goes, you're trying to hide this, and just waved her hand over
like,
it.
And why did she draw your face coming out of the darkness if she never saw you before?
Well, she just waved her hand over the picture, and it just reformed the way it was.
And then they were like, we want to see your hand, the palm of your hand. Like the girls yank his gloves off his hand, like make his gloves come off. And you see the burn mark of the sun and moon?
Yeah. The sun in one hand and the moon in the other.
Where he tried to grab them when they were babies.
But it ended up being their uncle was mad at their dad.
Because he had everything.
He ruled the kingdom.
The power, the wife.
He had the power, the wife, the kids.
Like, he had everything.
The bad thing is, like, after he was gone, she married him.
Well, that's because he thought the world was alive. So
I know. But the fact that he had her. He literally didn't have to keep threatening with the darkness. He could have just ended it. And been done.
Well, he had to make sure that the girls never actually came back to prove that it was him. That's why he did it.
I know, but still.
But unfortunately, it didn't work out for him because they managed to get back anyway. That was his thing the whole time. He was searching for the girls so he could take them out, so he could kill them, so they couldn't rat him out.
Yeah. It's just, man, how often do you see a bad guy that's close to the person?
It's always a brother, man. I mean, look at Lion King. Scar killed Mufasa. They were brothers.
Yeah, they're kind of like combined a lot of movie tropes.
Like it's always a sibling there for some reason that's jealous.
Jealousy. That's what it all comes down to.
Because they don't have it, and the sibling has it all, or whatever. I don't know.
I don't like the fact that you have more than me. Who the hell cares?
I should have been king, not you. Da 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 da. I don't know.
Be the oldest one then. Although in Scar's case, I think he is actually the older one, but Mufasa was the better one.
And he thought he was going to take over, but then Mufasa had a son, and the son became the heir to the throne. Anyway, that's a whole other topic.
Yep. That'll be in a whole nother video. I just, throughout everything, like after they like beat the darkness and everything, they're just going, "Go Twitches, go Twitches."
And by the end of it, like her adopted mom and dad are sitting there with her biological mom eating some birthday cake.
Yeah, where Karsh and Ileana are talking about where they're going to live together, and she wants to live on Earth because 10-cent wings.
They got 10-cent wings.
They got chicken wings, and they're 10 cents on Tuesdays.
They definitely sound like a good old married couple, and they weren't even married.
I know, but man, they've been together for a long time.
Yeah, a lot of years apparently.
But how would you feel about your mom only being looking a few years older than you do?
Yeah, it's crazy. When I read that, I was like, what? I was like, this one was only like 9 years older than them, and this other one was only like a year older than them, but they had them playing parents.
Yeah, it didn't really make sense.
I was like, granted, yeah, she did look older. They did look older, like way older than them,
but not to the extent that could actually be their moms.
I mean, granted, they were supposed to be turning 21, which means their moms should have been at least. You would have thought like late 40s, early 50s, somewhere in there. You would think.
You would think. Kind of wondering something there real quick. That's not, I didn't look it up earlier because I didn't think about it earlier, and I just now thought about it. I don't need that. I need this. Come on, come on, come on. I just didn't think I could use my laptop, but I don't want to screw up any recording. How old was Tia and Tamara? Huh. Apparently it's a question that gets asked quite a bit because it's only the third one down. They were both 27 when they played 21-year-olds.
Oh, wow. Not too far off then.
Yeah.
6 years older than what they were playing, so it ain't too bad.
Yeah, it ain't too bad. I know a lot of times they actually have them play a lot younger. So.
Well, like Jackson in Hannah Montana playing her older brother, he was actually like over 21 or whatever, 27 years old, and he was playing a high schooler in that.
Yeah, that's weird.
They do that a lot. I mean, it's because it just depends on like how if you look way younger than what you are, then they can use you for them parts. They do that a lot, apparently.
Yes. All right. Overall thoughts on the movie?
I think it's a really good movie. A really good family fun movie as well. And apparently it's a classic Halloween movie that gets watched every year. Apparently gets Googled a lot for a lot of information on them.
I don't generally watch it every year. Well, once every couple of years I may watch it. Because it's been a while since I watched this movie, which is why I wanted to watch it before we talked about it. Because I was like, I think I know enough about the movie that I could.
I mean, it's not one that I watch a lot. Like, I watch Halloween, all the Halloween towns, like, every year. But, like, I watch Twitches every now and then. Just kind of like, why not?
Yeah.
Go to name. Click on it, whatever.
So, but yeah, it's not one of them I watch all the time, but every once in a while I'll watch it. What do you rate it from 1 to 10? We don't need like weird stuff on the end of it, but just 1 to 10. What do you rate it?
That's probably about a solid 8 or 9, I think, again for me.
I would have to say probably around a 7, 7.5. For
like
me.
I said, it's not something I always watch, but it's still
and the
good.
reason is because you do not get the explanation of the magic. Like, I get the darkness couldn't find them because they weren't using powers. So there had no way to track them.
No offense, that kind of reminded me of when he meets Casper.
Yeah.
If they use their powers, a bad warlock could find them.
Yeah.
That's what it kind of reminded me of.
Who makes that movie, by the way? I would love to be able to cover that movie.
Yeah, that's what that kind of reminds me of. Like, as long as they don't use their powers, you're not gonna be able to find them or whatever. But you're right. Like, it doesn't really explain like why, because they're from this other universe, do they have powers necessarily? Like,
yeah,
why are they powerful? Like, where's the magic come from? Like, maybe the books gives you that explanation that these are based on, but these movies really didn't.
It's a Saban Entertainment.
Like, the movies, it was just kind of like, oh, they're magical beings, they're witches from this other universe. Like, it doesn't explain, like, why or where it comes from.
Yeah, it doesn't really explain a whole lot. I mean, that's the only thing that drives it down for me a little bit.
Like I said, maybe the books do, but I've never even seen the books.
Yeah, I haven't either, actually.
So, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I've never actually seen the books. I've never seen a copy of them. Until I actually did the research for this movie, I didn't even know they were books.
To be honest, I didn't either. I didn't know it was based on an actual book.
But I was like, do look at the books when I go to like Walmart and stuff, because obviously we don't have a bookstore here. I do look around to see what other series I can buy, because I went out and I bought obviously the Harry Potter series. The only one I don't have is the Cursed Child, because it's not part of the main series.
I always look at the books when I go to Walmart.
And then I also bought the Percy Jackson, The Last Olympian series. Or Heroes of, whatever.
And when I was when Target did it, my parents, I went and looked at the books there, and I actually found a book set there I wouldn't mind getting. It's actually a horror book set.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's got, like, an Edgar Allan Poe book, like, works on Edgar Allan Poe in it. It's got, I think it's got Bram Stoker's Dracula, Grimm Fairy Tales, like, it's like a horror set, like, different horror stuff. I mean, I have the whole entire set of Grimm's Fairy Tales hardback book that I have, but this book set would be cool to have. I might have it. I would like to get the Percy Jackson set and read those.
They're pretty good.
Because I enjoy the movies and the series that Disney came out with what they've come out with so far was really good. I enjoyed it.
Which you can find on Spotify when we talk about it.
What?
The Percy Jackson series.
Oh, yeah.
You can find it on Spotify. We actually cover season 1.
On our other podcast.
Oh, no. It's basically the same podcast. I can't get the videos off there to put on YouTube.
did we talk about it on those two guys?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can't remember if it was on that or it was on our other one.
No. Or, yeah, you can look up the Creeptastic Nerds, too, because we talk about a lot of stuff on there, too.
I can't remember which one it was on, but yeah.
So, I'm pretty sure we're pretty much done with talking about this.
I think so. I think we pretty much covered it all.
However, I do want to discuss with you next week's. So we got to figure that out real fast while we're recording. We're going to do it right here while we're recording. So you guys are going to see what goes into our planning sessions here. This is it. Like, sometimes we do actually talk and we actually like, okay, what movies are we coming up with? You know, when do we want to do this movie? When do we want to do that movie?
Do we want to do another DCOM or do we want to do...
I say we go to a feature-length film.
Feature movie.
Because I know there's a ton of DCOMs, a ton of Halloween DCOMs. I don't want to hold this whole month to be about DCOMs.
Right, that was my thought too. Like, I didn't want to do another DCOM. I kind of want to do another feature film.
I'd like to keep it Halloween themed, at least for now. Disney.
Pardon the yawn there.
Halloween themed movies. You got a Haunted Mansion, which isn't a bad one.
Got Spooky Buddies.
I do not want to watch Spooky Buddies.
I'm just saying that's.
You got Hocus Pocus.
Oh, and actually, you want to get technical? You have both Haunted Mansions.
Yes.
The original and then the remake.
Yes. I mean, which we could actually talk about both of them.
I almost. I don't know if you caught it when I was doing this. Justin, I started to put this finger down and put this one up. I was like, whoa.
How is James and the Giant Peach Halloween themed?
I don't know.
The Watcher in the Woods. I've never heard of that.
I don't know how several of these are.
I can understand some of them, but apparently Disney does not have a ton of feature-length films.
I say it's either going to be Haunted Mansion or Hocus Pocus.
Well,
that'd be my guess.
Do you want to do Hocus Pocus next, or do you want to do Haunted Mansion next, and then Hocus Pocus on Halloween? Because it won't release directly on Halloween, but pretty close to.
That's fine.
Okay, so you want to do it that way?
Yeah, that's fine.
So next week will be Haunted Mansion. We'll just cover both of them.
Yeah, I'd say we can discuss both of them. Because,
that gives us a week to watch them both.
That's good to me.
And then I have another idea for you, too. So, throughout the year, obviously we're going to be watching these movies. And some of them have sequels. Now, I'm not saying the ones that have multiple sequels, but maybe ones that just have a single sequel to it, we do throughout the year, and then we do the sequel in September and call it September of Sequels.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Because I feel like, that kind of... It at least gets us to where, okay, so this month it's just sequels. And then, of course, October will kind of stick to our Halloween theme. At least as long as we can. I'm sure sooner or later we'll kind of get out of it because, we run out of Halloween movies. And we're not going to talk about the same ones again and again and again. But at least for, I'd say in good 3 years, we can do Halloween theme on for October. It's just, unfortunately, it will end up becoming us just doing DCOMs for the month of October.
Yeah.
Because that's what most of them are.
Right.
So, like this year, we covered Halloween Town. Next year, we'll cover Halloween Town 2.
Well, and the nice thing about it is, like, we cover Hocus Pocus this year. We have Hocus Pocus 2. And they're actually supposed to be coming out with another one this October sometime.
Yeah.
This will be like a prequel, I guess. I haven't heard no more about it, but it's supposed to have been this month sometime.
Yeah, so we got some stuff. We do have a little bit of planned out here.
Heck yeah.
And just so you know, we genuinely don't record until we've actually watched these movies. Because that's why I didn't
Right.
come over to record sooner, is because I hadn't watched the movie yet. I wanted to make sure I actually watched the movie. That way I can at least discuss it.
Right.
I said you guys can actually find this. You can actually find this podcast too on Spotify. If you're on Spotify listen or watching, because this will be video. If you're on Spotify watching, you can also find us on YouTube. Literally follow us at both if you can, because we'd really appreciate that.
Please subscribe on YouTube.
Yes,
subscribe and like. That'll help us out
and
a
just
lot.
hit the follow button on Spotify. I'm still making the push to try to get it on to like other podcasting apps too. That way we can kind of spread a little bit. But if you guys have any suggestions, seriously, leave them in the comments below.
Comment, let us know. Sure.
We'll definitely read them all and suggest, use some of them suggestions. If you have any movie ideas for Thanksgiving, that's Disney, then let us know.
Oh yeah,
because
please, for sure, drop us a line.
I don't know any Disney movies that are Thanksgiving centered.
Right, I don't really either.
Honestly, I don't know any movies that are, except for one Charlie Brown and the movie Thanksgiving, which is a horror movie, which is really good. I definitely think we should cover that on our other podcast,
Yeah,
the Fantastic Nerds.
I don't think there's really a whole lot of Thanksgiving themed movies out there, to be honest.
But I seriously, let us know. I mean, maybe we missed something, and maybe you guys can actually suggest a movie we've never seen. That would be great.
Oh, that would be awesome. That would definitely be awesome.
Like, oh man, this is a movie I've never seen. I'm taking every note I possibly can while watching it.
Right.
I'll watch that thing twice just to make sure I didn't miss something.
Yeah, we definitely have our note-taking notebooks right there.
Yours looks a lot older than mine, though, Jay.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I literally got this one just for this podcast. When it was on sale, 50 cents a notebook.
So I got this one for the podcast. I don't remember when I got it, but I've had it for a little while.
I know, but you got it when you started the Creeptastic.
Yeah,
when you started on the Creeptastic Nerds.
And you can tell I've got a lot of notes in it. A lot of notes. I didn't realize how much I had in there until the day I was looking through. I was like, wow.
We're trying to do this different than what we did our last podcast with. Our last podcast, we were doing great when we first started it. We had notes, we had facts, we had a little bit of everything that we were talking about on there. Then we got lazy. We're trying not to.
Well, it just got to a point where we were we were fighting depending on scheduling when we were going to record because of our work schedules, and so then it was just like, well, we didn't have time to take notes, so we just started pulling up Wikipedia and stuff on our phones, getting information.
Or one of us wouldn't watch.
Yeah.
Which he isn't here for this one, but he wouldn't watch what we wanted him to watch, so he'd have no idea. So he'd have to use Wikipedia.
That was another fight and a half.
And then
Wait,
there was three of us, so it was getting all three of our schedules lined up to where we could actually do it, and that kind of became a little bit of a problem.
Yeah.
And then, stuff we suggest take a little bit to watch because it was like, well, let's cover this series. Well, then we got time to watch the series. Where me and Jay were like, hey, let's do these movies. We could talk about a series too, but put it out further to where when we have time we can watch it. And I'm like, okay, now we can talk about the series.
And then life just kind of happened, and you had a baby, and I ended up with health issues, and everything just kind of got all kind of jumbled.
Well, first it was after I had the baby, or after Beth had the baby, actually. We getting all three of us lined back up was kind of a pain.
Yeah, our work schedule was just...
So then it's just me and you start talking like, why don't we just start one of our own? Where we talk about what we want to talk about. And then we're like, oh yeah, absolutely. Well, let's call it this.
Well, I mean, on our other
podcast... So you guys
podcast,
can email us. Those two guys podcast to 1@gmail.com. And I don't know if you noticed this or not, but the Creeptastic Nerds, on Spotify, how we couldn't log back into the actual app no more because you have to have a Spotify login for it. I actually just included with this one. So, because it allowed me to do a network now, because it didn't let me do that before. You couldn't have multiple podcasts on one. Well, now it'll let me. Well, I didn't sign up with an email, or I signed up with an email address for Anchor when it was Anchor. Well, now it's Spotify, Spotify for podcasters. So now you got to log in with Spotify. Well, I used that email address for my personal Spotify because it wouldn't let me use my other one. So I was like, you know what? Screw it. We're going to do it this way. It's part of the network anyways.
So that's why I can't get into podcasters anymore?
Yep.
Because you had to use a Spotify.
Yep, you have to use a Spotify login. Huh. There's a way for me to actually set you up to where you can actually log in. I just got to figure it out first.
That's weird. I did not realize that.
Yep.
Must have changed long after they changed it to podcasters.
Yes, unfortunately.
Because when it first changed that, I was still able to get in for a while.
Yeah, they just kind of made it a huge pain. Which is actually, me and Jay were actually talking about this. We actually wanted to go to YouTube first because it just seems way easier to use YouTube for videos than it does. You don't think when you're pulling up Spotify, you're not thinking, oh, I'm going to watch a video podcast on Spotify. So we were trying to get it to where we can go just audio on Spotify, but video on YouTube. Well, then it was, we got to get more cameras. Still gotta get more cameras. Gotta figure out better camera positioning because obviously you don't want Jay's way up there, away from every.
What's going on, guys?
You kind of want it down here to where we can actually see each other better. And then mine's just kind of add an angle on my laptop camera because I don't have a second camera right now. So if you actually watch the first 2 episodes on Spotify of this podcast, it is really far away. Because we actually set it up to record both of us because I didn't actually have this software, which actually works pretty good. I think I can't get rid of this black little bit at the bottom. I don't know how to.
Like I said, I'm really surprised that light's not on that thing today because last time we recorded, the light was so bright, it blinded me.
I'd say turn off that light. I bet you'll turn on.
We had the light on last time.
I know, but it turned on first. So the light was already on. That light was on. We didn't turn this overhead light on first.
I don't know. But I'm okay with it not blinding me. It's not like right.
But yes, like I said, you guys reach out to us. Seriously. Leave a comment.
Oh, please.
And subscribe. Hit the little notification bell.
Love to
tell
hear
you
from
when
you guys.
We're posting another episode. I'm going to try to make sure these always come out on Tuesdays. Just give you a little pep up in the week, right there at the beginning of the week. And or you can follow us on Spotify too. Let somebody know about it. We're really trying to make the push to where YouTube's algorithm will actually suggest it to other people. But that may take a little bit.
Yeah, we definitely would love to hear from you guys, so please reach out.
Remember, if you're going to actually email us, though, it's those2guyspodcast1.
And again, please subscribe and like on YouTube. It'll help us out.
Yes. And hit the follow button on Spotify. You can even leave us comments there. Leave us a 5-star review over there. And we'll be back with you guys next week.
Catch you on the flip side.